Hello everyone. Today I'll be going over my open world assignment. I'll be going through some of the thoughts and design choices I made while making it, as we see it being played here. So, starting off right from the bat, we have a establishing shot where you can see the short, mid, and long-term goals. Which, if you happen to notice them, it's our short-term goal is the car we can see, and then we have mid-term goal, the hub area, which you can see in the middle, and on the left we have one of our long-term goals, which would be one of our landmarks called the coolant tower, and in the far distance, which is hardly being able to see right now, is the what's known as the fallen giant. So a little bit about the world. You are a player returning from a previous mission, kind of like your test of strength or rite of passage, and you are, like I said, returning towards the hub area, and you find yourself in this windy, cozy village, or cozy, windy valley, kind of Naushka Valley of the Wind, and then you can see all these kind of like ruins everywhere. At first you thought it's only on the surface, but then as you drive around, and as you can see when we stop right here, you are in fact on top of these skyscrapers, which have been overgrown, and then a valley has been created right on top of it. So it's kind of building on top of layers and height, and will in a later level level I would like to explore that. But going back to the design process of this, I wanted to create I wanted to use the hub as a central point, so I quite simply just put it in the center, and then space the two landmarks that we are having, and place them like on the opposite side, almost on the opposite side of each other, and from where the player starts. So, entering in the village, you step out of the car, and you can immediately move up here, where you can see the town hall, guild hall, and a mission board, where the player gets their assignments, and then you can see the coolant tower right over there, which will be our first landmark to explore. So we're just going to travel back, and in a higher state, it would be a more bustling city, or not city, but a village, and right in front of us we can see what that would kind of look like, with kind of these robot parts and scrap metal being Frankenstein together to create these houses. So you just gotta carefully drive around here. And the reason the people have built on top of this is because they have the palm of the giant robot. And like I said earlier, there we have the fallen giant by the gondola, which is for lore reasons closed, but you realize you have to get down there somewhere. So, and you can see a bit of potential. You know that's to the when we went to a Y crossing, we went left, and if we would have gone right instead, we would have taken the old road down. But now that we're here at the area, I want to make the play break up the pacing, because it's been a lot of traveling by vehicles. So I want the player to actually use the traversal system a bit. And as you move slower, you get more interesting things to look at. So for instance, here would be an example of putting some kind of collectible or similar treasure that you can take on a side path. Now that we're exploring this area, and you land safely, you find this, well, since you can't move forward, since the building has collapsed over it, and you can't climb on top of it, and you can't find a surface, you have to go inside of the old building. So imagine this being like the walkway to a shopping mall or similar, and then you find your way up and just climb. And as you move forward, you would see the entrance, but then realize that, oh, the way is, well, there's been a crack in the way, and the only way to get there is taking the tram, as you can see, represented by the white blocks right now. And if you turn around, you can see, oh, there's a bridge I can take, and it's kind of like works like a bait and switch here. And in a continuation of the project, we would have more ways to, or a longer bit here, where you would go down even further. So, returning to the area, and you can use so the landmark has been used as well as a bigger bait and switch, because when you return, you would realize that, oh, I don't need to go back to the hub and go back to the same area. You can instead just maybe take that way down, since you see it's a fallen skyscraper, there's a tunnel, and it leads down to the fallen giant. So instead of spending all that time just backtracking, I thought maybe it would be fun to have a different way to wrestle. And just to change things up, we've had the vehicle for just transportation, and now I instead wanted to introduce a little bit more fun with the vehicle. So imagine you going through this field and having particle effects of weeds just hitting up from behind, and then you can use either the bridge, which we're gonna see later, or you can see, as I used here, the top of the old skyscraper to vault and jump over the bigger cracks. So my main idea was to have these two landmarks, and this is the fallen giant, and I wanted this to kind of be the yin to the yang, so to say. So in the other one we would have traversal and then a boss fight. This one would instead be some simple fighting and then a lot of puzzle mechanics, dodging traps, and similar. You could even use the car maybe to deal with some of the smaller enemies. Right now I'm showing you the way back, as we saw. This is the option way. It is not perfect, but it works for now. And just having the lower planes as a fun way to break up the flow and break up the pacing of how you travel. Yeah. And as you see right in front of us right now, we can see the big hand and the gondola, and usually, like I said, the player would be taking this way up and down, but the gondola for lore reasons is broken, so you need to take the old ways, which would let the player to interact more with the buildings and driving up and into them, really getting like a close view of this cyberpunk-esque, like sci-fi dystopian skyscrapers, which have been converted into this narrow pathway. And in a later installment, maybe the player would even travel through these kind of landscape. So to it's more of a getting the player to letting the player get a taste for the environment, and like hyping up the mystery. What is this place really? And just showing off here, we have a bit of a crazy Ivan showing off the environment, really, the lower planes that you've now left behind, and then you can see the hub area with the tower, or the guild tower, so to say, and the big hand. also you get a little bit of an underside of the valley. Just showing off here as well. If you would happen to go or come this way instead, you would get this little nice frame here. Or windows, you say. Now we are just returning the way, or arriving at the other way we did not see earlier. So this is my level, and I thank you so much for watching. Thank you.